Hello and welcome to Underpin Consultants weekly Wednesday live stream. My name's Lewis. I'm a growth and change consultant, which means I go in and help businesses and organizations look at how to change and grow for the better and provide more services for their clients, and earn more money and employ more people and do all of those good things. Today, and every week since we've started this, and I do truly like it. I think it's really good, and it's good to see we're getting some responses. Um, we try something new, we try something different, and today I'm adding something new. Here, just here, as you can see, I've got in my hand, I've got an Apple Pencil. I've opened up Canva, and I can now, as you can see, write on things. So what we're going to do today is we are going to have a look through some Reddit threads for small businesses, business advice. What's the best business advice? What's the worst business advice? We're going to read them. We're going to have a think about them, and we're going to try and give some advice on how accurate they are and whether we can delve a little bit deeper into um, the information that they're providing to see how good it actually is. So, firstly, let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that, and let's go to our first Reddit thread, which is from Small Business UK. And you can see, I would join, honestly, Reddit is quite good. As long as you take it from with a pinch of salt. Um, it's a good place to ask questions sometimes. We're going to go through some of these. I've already clicked through. Um, that's what we want is we want to take information with the weight of which it comes in. You can learn anything from almost anything, but you can't just believe everything you read, especially on the internet, especially on Reddit. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to go through. We're going to see what's good, what's bad, and what's downright ugly. So the first one we're going to look at is this one. So this is from Reddit/entrepreneur, and this is over 10 years old. So it'll be really interesting to see. We've picked some ones that are quite old, just to see if things have changed over the last couple of years, and what we can provide and get more information on. So we've ordered this by Best. We're actually going to do it by Top. So I haven't seen these. Um, and I will be reacting live to them and providing my insight live to them. So, first comment is, if you are not ready for an opportunity and an opportunity comes along, take it anyway. This is one of those things you hear a lot. I think it's attributed to Richard Branson, who's a billionaire. So what do I know compared to him? But he says basically, if you don't know how to do something and someone comes to you and says, "I'd really like you to do this," that's what you should do. You should just take it and see where and see work out how to do it later. And this can be good for certain things and bad for certain things. So if this is your business, let's draw a box. If this is your business, and these little balls in here are all the things that you can do, okay? And somebody says, maybe you're a web design agency, okay, or you could be a florist, okay? So let's say you're a florist, right? So what do florists do? They say they sell flowers. Okay, fine. If somebody comes to you and says, "I really would like you to do some flowers, and I would like you to do some gifts, kind of here. They're not within your business, but they are slightly adjacent to your business. If someone turns around to you and said, "I'd like you to do my accounts," that's over here. And so there's an awfully long way to go from here to here, but actually, there's a really short distance to go from here to here. Now, that's one way of thinking about this idea of, sorry, excuse me. If somebody asks you to do something, you should just say yes and then work out how to do it. So that's one way of thinking about it. And this way of thinking about it is, let's call this ability. Okay? So that's the first one. So if we get rid of all of that, we get rid of all of that. Okay. Now we're still a florist. But we are being asked to do something that's not about ability. It's about volume. Okay, sorry, bear with me a second. There we go. It's about volume. Okay, so instead of having 10 bunches of flowers, someone wants you to create hundreds of bunches of flowers. Okay, so all you will see, if you know anything about physics, you'll see that this is getting bigger and the pressure, and it will start bulging. Your business will start creaking and cracking, and eventually it will explode. Okay? And the reason for that is because you are not prepared for delivering the things that you want. Okay? You are not a massive business. And what you do is if you are doing something where you can't say no and you've said yes, and that's another live stream that we've got, if you're doing that, then what actually is happening is you are going to dilute. If you can't bring the people in, you are going to damage your reputation, and you are going to reduce the quality. Okay? So you reduce the quality, you've damaged your reputation, and you've diluted it. So what you actually need to do, let's get rid of that. What you actually need to do, and let's go back to the wording of this. So let's quickly go back to the wording. If you are not ready for an opportunity comes along, take it anyway. What I would say is if an opportunity comes along, have already a plan and a limit and an understanding of what you are actually capable of. Can you find another florist who can do some of the things that you want to do over here? Can you farm things out to other people that can help you? You know, is that what you want to do? So I disagree slightly with the first one. And I think if you're not ready, the problem is that you're not ready. And so get ready and know what you're capable of and know what you can do in the first instance and understand where that comes from. Okay? So know what you can do. And if the opportunity is there, you've got backup plans, you've got positivity, you've got an understanding of what you're capable of, and you can do it that way. That would be the first one. So he said yes to designing a website, said yes to creating an e-learning module. Now he's contracting with the Philadelphia airport on a 6-figure contract. That's great. I don't think that is if an opportunity comes along and you're not ready. Sounds to me like he was ready. So that's the first one. Stop reading everything and looking for the secret sauce. There is no such thing. Sure, there's a lot of useful information. You need some basics, but once you have them, get started now. You will learn more by doing and having some failures than reading everything. Yes, I 100% agree with this. Failure. If I can spell. There we go. Let's go back. Failure is part of a bigger system. So, this is failure, okay? Failure is a part of success. No one in the history of mankind has ever stood up, thrown a ball, and it landed in the tiny cup. Okay? And if they did, that's not success. That's luck. What luck is you are not in control. And so when they talk about the secret sauce, what they're actually looking for is to turn around and say, I know that my business is like this. Okay? It's a series of milestones, it's a series of things that we need to do. Okay? And so you need to go here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here. And then a good person, a good business, has this planned out from the start. It's adaptable, it's changeable, it's doing all of the things that you want it to do. But you know, step 1 is here, step 3 is here, step 5 is here, and step 6 gives us this. And we're going to use these values and these missions to get where we need to go. Okay? What secret sauce does, and what hacks do, and what trying to jump the queue does, is you're trying to do this. Okay? So you're trying to go from here to here, and you're trying to get some success. Okay? You're missing out the fundamentals of your business. You are creating a business that, rather than being, so if you think about, this is your foundation, and then you build another one, and you build another one, and you build another one, and this might be your HR department, and this might be your sales department, and these are all your processes. Instead of building something like this, you build something like this, okay? Or worse, you build something like this. And because you skipped all these steps at the beginning, and you now have this teetery-tottery thing here, where's it going? It's going down. Okay? And so doing things properly and understanding that there are no shortcuts, that you do have to understand and know what it is you're trying to do, and getting to a point where you have a fully functional plan that's bedded in. You know who you're hiring, you know where you're hiring, you know why you're hiring them, you know what you offer, you know why you're offering it, and you're offering it to the right people at the right time. That's not a hack. That's running your business. The other thing about that question, let's have a quick look and go back to it. Stop reading and looking for secret sauce. There's no such thing. The idea of a journey of your business, okay? And you start here and you know zero about your business. And when you get to here, you probably know, you're never going to know 100, but you're probably going to know 50, okay? It takes confidence to move this way. It takes understanding to move in a way that works for you, okay? To actually start building or designing, that's important, okay? And so preparing here, having a plan, having your mission, that's important, okay? But at some point, you've got to go. You've just got to start doing stuff. And this bit here will include, I'm going to change the colour, failure. Failure, failure, failure. But from each failure comes knowledge. I don't know why this pen's not working. There we go. Comes knowledge and learning. And so here and here are, and you never stop failing. You never stop failing. You never stop learning. You never stop understanding. And if you stay here at the very beginning, you stay there in that little black hole and never actually get going, you're never going to make any of these failures. You're never going to have any of these successes, these ones here, okay? And you're never going to get the knowledge you need to get to that 50, to learn how your business works and to work out how it's going to make you a success. Let's have a look at the next one. So far, 10 years ago, still good. Don't sit inside your room to find out if your product or service will sell. Ask a suspect and keep asking and iterate until it does sell. That's quite good, actually. So the next one is we want to make sure, and this is something that I when I'm working with new startups and new businesses, and sometimes established businesses as well, there is this feeling that there are. So empathy is you knowing what your customer is thinking and wants. Okay? Now, what the majority of people do, and this is because we're scared to ask, is we just think. Okay? We never actually talk. We never actually ask. We never actually worry about whether we're right. Okay? And so what you want to do is, rather than looking at how, removed his head. That's not what you want. Rather than doing it, go and ask them. Understand whether there is a service or product that you can provide that is actually something your customer wants. And if they want it, how much is it going to cost? Will they pay it? And if they are going to pay it, what do they expect in return? What do they expect in return? And rather than guessing, research and ask and be open and honest. And, people have come to me as a business consultant and say, I want to provide a service to a business consultant. What are you looking for? I will always sit down with them and give them 10, 15, half an hour of my time to talk to them about what it is that they want. Because I did the same thing to my customers when I first started. Ask. I think that's really important. Let's have a look at the next one. Here we go. This one's, I like people. So first thing, this has been deleted, which is great. And it's been very nicely scaled and bullet pointed. So let's read the first one. No matter how much it seems like a good idea at the time, never ever open a bar or restaurant unless you have a decade of industry experience, incredible contacts, and a limitless pool of money you don't want. I've just learned something from this, and I don't think it's the thing that they wanted me to learn. My concern here is, it sounds like this person had a really bad experience opening a bar and didn't have a decade of industry, didn't have credible contacts and limited list money, and therefore feels like that's what you need. What that's a really good example of is, if the world only listened to this person and nobody had dreams and nobody had plans, we would have no restaurants. And so you need to make sure that if this is an opinion, and that's the negative opinion, okay? And you're going to have lots of people, you're going to have friends and family all giving you negative opinions, okay? And the way humans work is, if we have an equal number of negative and positive opinions, we will listen to the negative opinions over the positive opinions. Or we will only listen to the positive opinions. And what this is here is, this is burying your head in the sand. this one. Everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be fine. I don't need to worry about anything big. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to forceful. I'm going to do it. This is pessimism. This is everything is terrible. Everything is awful. What you need is going back to the theme of the day. You need knowledge. You need to listen here and learn. You need to listen here and learn. And you need to go here and find something that is positive and negative, is scientific, is independent, and you pull all of this together. And you create your own plan. And you share it with people, you get their feedback, but you don't just take one person's advice or even two people's advice. You take it all in. And when you're ready, you feel confident, and you go then, and don't listen to much of what is being told by other people. And if we go back to this bit here, and this is another thing that is really difficult for me and for lots of other people, and actually it's quite useful for YouTube to understand, okay? If I times this here by 100, so I have 500 positive comments, okay? And let's get rid of this one, and this one, okay? So now you've got 500 positive comments, one negative comment. Humans, evolutionary and in society, are really good at finding the flaw. Because if you're out in the wild and you're hunter gathering, or you're in a war, if you see 99 things that are great and one thing that's dangerous, one thing that's bad, you're gonna focus on it. Okay? You're gonna be that's odd. Why is that odd? That bush looks like that, but these bushes look fine. That bush doesn't look fine. Why doesn't that bush look fine? That's the difference between being alive and being dead 30,000, 40,000 years ago. Today, we use it to completely disregard this and focus on this. And what you need to do instead is you need to look at everything together. Okay? So you need to look at the whole, research. Okay? So that's the first thing I've learned from this Reddit comment. Let's have a look at the next one. I guarantee you, haven't looked at it yet, guarantee you it's something hyper-specific. Okay? So let's have a look. How do you make a small fortune in a vineyard? Start with a big fortune. Again, this girl sounds like a drag. Sounds like they think they know everything. And what they're not here is curious. What they're not here is giving advice that can be used for anything. And then the first one, don't do service businesses. Rule of thumb is they're hard to scale, have low barriers to entry, and generally it's hard to make money while you're sleeping. Focus on products. I've been running a business that focuses entirely on services for the last 6 years, and it's a success for me. Might not be a success for everyone, but it's a success for me. There are multi-billion-dollar industries that rely on services. So, this is a perfect example of a Reddit comment that is hyper-specific and provides only information to me between the lines. Between the lines. I think that's really interesting to know. Let's have a look at another one. This perfect. Don't be afraid to fire customers. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So let's get rid of all this, okay? So, and I'm going to write it in big letters at the top. Fire customers. Okay? I've got an entire video on this, and it's called No and the Power of Saying No. Okay? If you've got a customer that no longer meets your values, that no longer allows you to get your mission, and if you want to know about values and mission, there's an entire video on that as well, and is draining your time, and despite your best effort, you are giving them a bad service. Who decides who's giving a bad service? Both the customer and the company. We as a company have changed. We do things differently now, and therefore we are unable to meet your needs anymore, and we are sorry. We would love to transfer you on to a different person. We would love to look and see how we can help you in other ways, but our business no longer provides a good enough service for us to want to value you. Now, how you say that and how you do that, that's a whole other live stream, and that's one that I'm definitely putting on the list for the future. But what you need to do is you need to understand that it's not you don't keep your customers until they leave. You also have a duty and a responsibility and an understanding that when you're no longer providing a good service to them, and that might be this is taking 800 hours and I can't charge them 800 hours, there's something wrong with the business, I don't understand what's going on. Delve into it, dive into it, look and see how that works, and make sure that you've got something that is genuinely beneficial to your customers. Also, and this is super important, sometimes customers will ask you for things that you cannot provide. One of those, this is something I talk about, our discount. We've been with you for 2 years. We're putting up our prices, and we don't want to pay. If you have put your prices up for a good reason, okay? If you have increased costs, if you are looking at, whatever it might be, really sorry, we're going to have to put them on. Then we're leaving. That's a really tough conversation, but it should be done with the knowledge and the understanding that customers don't pay forever. Final thing is, the final thing is sometimes customers, bear with me a second, are bad. They can be horrible, they can be obnoxious, they can be taking you for a ride, they can be not paying you, they can be not understanding what you do. Some of those are your fault. Your customers don't know what you do, that's a problem. If your customers are constantly moaning and complaining, it might be because they're bad, but it also might be that you haven't explained what you do, how you do it, why you do it, where you're doing it, and the rules and the values of the game. It's hard to get rid of a bad customer, someone who is draining your time, who's draining your money, but I guarantee you, if you have a good product that is well researched and well thought out, it's not for everyone. It's not for every possible person in the world. And the customer who you brought on might not no longer be able to get benefit from the thing that you deliver. And they will moan and they will get upset. And turning around and saying, how can we change? How can we improve the product? That's really good. But if they're just obnoxious and they're not paying you, or they're being horrible, or they're being aggressive, or they're constantly asking for discounts and demand, it's okay to offboard them. Honestly, it's okay to offboard them. And sometimes when you're a small business, that can feel really difficult. That can feel really difficult. But if you do it and you understand why you're doing it, and you then go and get some good customers who know your service, know what you're doing, you've explained it to them, they pay on time, they do the things that they're supposed to do, you do the things that you're supposed to do, it's an enjoyable experience. Replacing bad customers with good customers is good business practice. Don't feel like you have to keep bad customers. Okay? I think we're going to do one more. So Let's find a good one to end with. Okay, this is a good one. A mediocre idea executed well is better than a good or great idea executed poorly. Yes, do less, focus on a few things. No data is bad data. Yeah. So let's have a quick look at that. So a mediocre idea executed well. There's no such thing as perfect. Amazingly, my son knows this. 6. It's not practice makes perfect anymore, apparently, in UK schools. It is practice makes progress. And I absolutely love that. Waiting for years and years and going back to the original thing that we were saying, having this as your business, lots of little milestones, lots of little things that you want to do. These can be money goals. These can be other things that you want to achieve. These can be R&D. Here's your MVP, your minimum viable product. Here's where you get investment. Okay? That's great. Okay? This has to be perfect. This has to be perfect. This has to be perfect. You're compounding perfection. And so what you can do is you can end up swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling and never moving on to the next thing. If you've got a average product that has the following things behind it: customer service, okay? Quality of response, empathy, okay? And understanding. If I have a window cleaner and he does the most perfect job, it takes him 8 hours, it costs me 300 quid, and he never turns up. And when he does turn up, he's horrible, rude, and swears and scares my kid or the dog or whatever. That is a perfect product executed terribly. Guy comes, cleans my windows, 99%, 98%, 97% clean, 80% clean with my eyes. I don't care. He's happy, doesn't scare the kids. He does his job, always turns up on time. That is, to some people, a mediocre product executed perfectly. And that is what your business should aim for. To aim for 100% is death, it's madness. It'll drive you insane. Work out what the quality, what the customer service, what the quality, what the empathy and the understanding your customers demand, and then see what they'll pay for it, and then do that. This has been fun. This has worked mostly. The thing here, no, there. I like being able to draw and kind of talk about things, and I think it works quite well. If you like it, please leave a comment. If you don't, please leave a comment. Feedback and understanding our customers and providing good customer service, quality, empathy, and understanding is what we aim for. And so that's what we want. So if you liked this, please let me know. If you didn't like this constructively, please let me know too. Getting up to Christmas now, probably be doing one next week. Then we'll be taking a couple of weeks off and we'll be returning in January. There'll be shorter videos going up throughout that time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Love doing these. Love trying to provide some honest business advice for you. If there's any particular subjects you'd like me to look at in the future, please do